Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Bullet Sports Spotlights. This week, we are taking a look at the men's golf program at Gettysburg College. And joining me today is the one and only head coach, Nate Davis, head coach of not only women's basketball, but also men's golf. Nate, you've been here for 6 years, I think it is, with women's basketball. And then this is your third year as head coach of the men's golf program. Can you believe it's been 3 years you've been head coach of the golf program already?
No, it definitely is. It's flown right by, and certainly some things have happened in that 3 years that have made it seem definitely surreal in so many ways, right? But yeah, it's crazy to think that this is the third season.
Of course, you've had a great career on both fronts. You've won conference titles in both sports. You've coached All-Americans in both sports as well. So you've definitely brought with you a lot of success, of course, coming here from Eastern University, your prior institution. But we're happy to have you here at Gettysburg. And the men's golf team has thrived under your leadership as well, winning a conference title in your debut season. I don't know if you can top that rookie year, but you are sure as heck going to try to do that, I would imagine. And you've got a great team this season too. You know, last year, we thought 2 years ago, we had, Danny Harcourt and Dane Sether-Hofstedt, the two best golfers we've had in program history, bar none. Scoring average, wins, all conference honors. Danny was the All-American I mentioned earlier. And then last year, we're rolling into it and thinking, I don't really know what's going to happen here without those two at the top of the lineup. But those guys, Rieger, Hockman, Green, Moffitt, they played so well that your season scoring average through the fall season last year and through the Myrtle Beach shootout was almost as good as 2 years ago, which was incredible. It was disappointing to kind of see the season stopped in mid-March, of course, to see what those guys could have accomplished on their own without the likes of Harcourt and Sether-Hofstedt. But most of those guys are back. Of course, Ethan Murphy graduated. Definitely miss him in the lineup. But you've got a great group of guys coming back. Talk about what they've been doing to work on their game, the team preparation when they've been able to get out to the course amidst this crazy weather in the Middle Atlantic as well.
Yeah, no doubt. It's we're very similar. Basically the same team we were a year ago, heading into the spring before COVID kind of ended our plans in the spring last year. But so we have high expectations, no doubt about it, and the guys are optimistic. But they're still trying to overcome some of the challenges that we've dealt with over this last year and doing what they can for sure to be ready for this spring. We just had our first outing this spring, this last weekend, and they've put in a lot of work, but we still have a ways to go. We definitely feel like we're optimistic, but we know that there's some schools in our conference that are going to put together good teams as well, and we've got to be ready to go when it comes to April 23rd, 24th, 25th timeframe to be playing our best golf at the right time to hopefully try to defend our conference championship. So the guys are doing a great job in like our fitness program. They've been really committed to that, working really hard all year round. I've been really impressed and really fortunate to see the growth they've had in that area. We have had some great leadership among our guys. Matt Calamar, who's a junior for us this year, has done a great job of really taking over that fitness program and has really owned it. He's a personal trainer outside of golf as well in the summers. And so he's done a great job of helping lead those programs for us. So it's just been neat to see the team take that on and own it as a program. And then certainly the TrackMan room, I mean, they've been in there. We're going to have to replace the screen again, but that's okay, because that means they're putting in work and beating a lot of balls against the screen and putting it to good use. So that's a good problem to have. And, obviously with the weather, the way it's been this spring, at least recently, it's been pretty nice conditions. And without us having a spring break, it's been nice to be able to get out at the course at Hanover Country Club. And they've obviously been so accommodating to us. And it's a great facility for us with a range and different, the different short game areas and 3 putting greens. So there's plenty of places for our guys to work on their game. So we're optimistic, no doubt about it, Corey. And but it's golf, and you just never know. And we got to be prepared for whatever. But I love the culture of this team and the attitudes of these guys. You couldn't get any better.
And you talk about the leadership of Matt Calamar when it comes to the nutritional program and the weightlifting program. I know he's been very involved in the SAIL program here, which centers on well-being and the physical dimension too. But you've also got 3 extremely experienced seniors too. You can
Yep.
count on for a measure of leadership as well. You've got Dan Rieger, Quinn Green, and Jimmy Harcourt as
Yes.
well as leaders, and that's got to feel pretty good to have that trio helping with that leadership.
No doubt about it. I mean, we have we have pretty good experience throughout our lineup, but certainly those three guys have had more tournament experience than a lot of guys in our program, or all the guys in our program. But even historically, they just have, they're guys that were competing as freshmen, and have just brought a lot of tournament experience to our team. We have some young guys this year really leaning on them and their experience, how to prepare, how to handle themselves in tournaments. And so, yeah, we're just really thankful that we have those guys on the team, just providing what it's really supposed to be like to be a Bullets men's golfer. And so that's just their leadership is invaluable, and we're really leaning on it this year for sure, to hopefully again have a great spring.
And of course, as you mentioned earlier, we did start the spring already. We got 18 holes of competition at the McDaniel Invitational this weekend at the Bridges in
Yes.
nearby Abbottstown. We were scheduled for 36, but day two suffered the usual deluge of rain,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And I heard that the greens were underwater. But talk about how the team opened the 2021 spring season.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's obviously just great to be back playing competitive golf, collegiate competitive golf, and I think there was just an attitude of just thankfulness, just to be out there again, to be representing our college, to be representing our program and our team. And it was definitely different because we still have some COVID precautionary things that were taken into place. We're playing as a fivesome, as a team. And the coaches are kind of all with their own team, which is totally different than what we normally would be in. But golf is an honor system type sport anyway, and these we're just thankful that we're able to play tournaments right now. And so if that's what we need to do to be able to play tournaments, we feel like we can monitor ourselves, have high integrity, and go out there and put the best number we can, and not knowing what our opponents are going to necessarily put up any day at this point. As the spring goes along, we certainly expect that we'll be able to do the traditional threesomes or foursomes, pairing up with other teams. But right now, we're just happy to be out, and that's kind of the way it was Saturday. And the nice thing about that was, again, we had a couple freshmen, our first years on the team, that were in their first collegiate event, and here they are. They're getting a chance to play alongside Dan Rieger and Quinn Green and Hayden Moffitt, who all have tournament experience, and so it felt familiar for them. So it was probably, the nerves were a little more under control than what they would have been had they been out by themselves with an opponent. So that was kind of a nice, I guess, easy way in for the two first-year student athletes that we have on our team this year, that I think are going to contribute greatly going forward. But it was nice to have that comfortability being around their upperclassmen teammates this first tournament. So, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm sure it felt good to get back there on the greens, and we've got a full slate of scheduled events. I believe our next one is April 8th, if I'm not mistaken, the
Yes.
Gettysburg Invitational at Quail Valley.
Yes.
Which is
Yeah.
interesting. I played there right before my wedding 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's a great local course. We're very fortunate they've worked with us to be able to add a second event to our spring this year that we're hosting. Obviously, we're hosting our traditional home event at Hanover Country Club, our home course, but it's nice to have another course in the area here that's willing to work with us and allow us to bring college teams to their venue. It's a fun course, and I think it'll be a great track and a challenge for the college teams that we bring there for the invite this year too. So just really neat that we're getting a chance to host two of them this spring.
And of course, the second Gettysburg Invitation will be on April 17th.
Yes.
So we've got those on the schedule. Nate, I want to ask you about your previous 2 seasons of golf where you've been the head coach here. What are some of your favorite moments? I mean, one comes to mind pretty quickly, or at least 2 of them.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah. I mean, the 2 in their first year was just amazing to be able to, honestly, the first year was just an amazing year as a coach in general, taking over a group of guys that really had to learn to trust, Coach Kaylee and myself, and what we were saying, being first year coaches, and really just taking over a program that had some real good senior leadership on that team and really good golfers that they really took in what we asked of them to do, and really bought into the culture pieces that we were bringing, and some of the new things that we were asking of them that maybe weren't part of the program prior to us. But but yeah, all credit to them. I mean, it was just a great ride to be on with those guys. I mean, we won a record 9 tournaments in 1 year. Obviously, several individual medalists at tournaments, and then to win the conference tournament for the first time in like 17 years, and to qualify for the national tournament and place 24th at the national tournament and have Danny Harcourt as an individual go on and compete as an individual for the final couple days there and to place 15th overall and to be able to walk with him and coach him through that as an individual was pretty special moments for me too. And the conversations we had and just being on the greens and trying to offer any help that I could to him. Obviously, he's a tremendous athlete and golfer himself, so he didn't need a ton from me, but just to know that he respected me enough and wanted me there just felt really great and very satisfying and obviously, pretty rewarding as a coach too, for sure. And but honestly, there's just so many memories on the course with guys in practice. And I think that's the great thing about golf in general. It's just a great opportunity to be with people. And that's why it's such a great lifetime sport too, right? I mean, we all enjoy being out on the course with people. Well, collegiate golf is not much different, and just the experiences out on the golf courses. You can remember situations that guys got themselves into, and which golf naturally does in general. And then to see them, fight their way out of it and show resilience. I mean, the conference championship tournament, our first year, was a 3-day tournament, and the first 2 days were really challenging weather, climate, and we kind of hit the bad part of the seeding. The morning of the first day was not that bad, but the afternoon was like a major storm and gusting winds, and it just really challenged the final 3 teams that were there. And so it really kind of made the field really tight going into the last 2 days. And then the last day ended up being great weather, and we were able to come back, I think, from 15 strokes to win by maybe 10. So it was a great last day and a culmination of the work that those guys put in all year. And so it was just really special for those seniors that had that year to be able to go off with the conference championship, one that they had sought for 3 years, so to be their 4th year doing it. So there's so many great memories. Most of them are like the van rides and just the goofy stuff that you get in when you're, riding along from the trip to Kentucky that we made for a tournament down at Center College. And, on the way back, I mean, those are long van rides, but they seem short because you're just, chopping it up, having a good time with the guys, telling jokes and, just telling stories about each other on the golf course and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
You certainly had the cast of characters on that team in your 3 years.
Absolutely. No doubt about that. It's a great way to describe them, Corey.
Well, obviously, we've got a couple more weeks left in the season, approximately a month until the Centennial Conference Championship, which is scheduled for April 24th at the Hershey Country Club. We've played there before in the past. Yes. Talk about what this team needs to do to get to that point, to be playing their best golf, as you mentioned earlier, going into that weekend.
Yeah, I think that we have the ability. I agree. I think that was something that became evident this weekend, is that we're not far off. We're not where we need to be yet. But I think the more golf we play, the more opportunity to play tournament golf, especially for some of our younger guys, the more the competitive process within our own roster continues to play out. I think we're going to put together a great team that's going to have a great weekend when our conference tournament comes around, and I fully expect to be competing. Obviously, it's golf, so you just never know if you're going to put it together on that day or not, or those 2 days. Hopefully we have 2. But I certainly believe that we're going to have a chance. There's no doubt about it. I feel like we have the ability to do it. We just got to put it together at the right time. And the only way we're going to get there is by just putting in the work and getting experience on the course and learning to play the game that these guys have hit thousands of balls in their lifetime. It's just about putting it together at the right time.
They just need to hit them long and straight that day, and we'll be good.
That's right. That's right. That's where great coaching will come into hand, I guess. If we're successful. If not, it's not my fault.
Is it Coach K's fault then?
We may blame her. I don't know. No. Typically, all the success she deserves more so than me, actually. So it's all good.
Well, Nate, that's all the questions I had for you today. I know you're a busy man. You've got basketball recruits rolling in. You've got golf practice. You've got the guys coming in to get in the TrackMan room and everything too. So I won't hold you up anymore. I'm excited to tackle a few things this week. looking at the 3 seniors. We'll be doing some features on them, looking back on that 2019 Centennial Conference Championship. And also we might have another story in there too. More on that later in the week. So
Yes.
Coach Davis, I want to wish you the best of luck this season. It'll be exciting to watch you from afar, since spectators are not allowed on the golf course this year. So best of luck to you, Coach K, and the rest of the guys in the 2021 season.
Thanks a lot, Corey. Appreciate it. And, we're definitely going to give it our best shot, no doubt.
All right. My name is Corey Jewett, signing off for this week's Bullet Sports Spotlight.